What is going on, everybody? What's up, casters and YouTube? We are here with another commentary. This one, the rubber match between me and my opponent for the last two videos. As we know, my first one came against this guy, and he got me in the rematch. So this is the last and deciding fall of a best of three. Now, obviously, it's not in the traditional best of three. We didn't do this all in one day. The first two matches were in the same day, but the third match was a couple days later. But still, in my book, it's a best of three. I won the first one. He won the second one. Can I win the third one, or will he win the third one? Let's get this going. He's adjusting his camera, as you can see right here. We are going to skip ahead to, because I went first in this match. As we'll see right here, I draw my cards. I get my 5 cards here. I consult my, as you can see right here, I'm going to consult my ability sheet. As I gonna admit, like I said before, I don't have the best looking eyes to be able to read this charts or read the cards for most of them. So I do have a list of all my abilities for my decks on a notepad, so I can sit there and easily access and see what abilities. So I'm not messing things up, even though I'm still trying to interpret every ability the best way that I can. So I go to do this. Don't need it. And then I play Humbust in defense position on the first turn. I mean, the first turn is not the best card to have, but Humbust ability allows me that when the Ruin is played, it's going to cause the opponent to take the top the top 2 cards from their deck and put it in the underworld. Then I play Eruption, which, because he's not got anything on the field, no matter what, he has to expend 3 spirits from his spirit deck. So far, right out of the gate, I have an early lead by 1 by this time because I've used up 2 spirits, and I'm making him expend 3. So obviously, if you use Eruption, which I want to definitely get a Krakatuga deck going, or trying to build a Krakatuga deck around Eruption and Krakatuga, because Krakatuga really does take the most effect for Eruption when Eruption is played. So that is something I definitely want to look into, but I'm definitely going to need a lot more cards. I got the Small Tugas and I got the Krakatuga, but I really don't have anything else, so I'm going to have to work on that when it comes. Then, just to pretty much even up the signs, as you can see here, I'm going to play Nectar of the Gods, which makes him use up 2 more cards from the top of his deck, but I also get to draw 2 cards from my deck, as I am trying to do my best to win this match, even though we'll see how it goes. And I draw the cards, and I end my turn. I didn't get anything else. So my opponent draws. He went through. I got rid of 4 cards off the top of his deck, and it looks like Hydrake was the last one of those. He's going to play Sorlet in attack position, which he does not use the ability for whatever reason to turn Humbust from defense to attack, but he does. Oh wait, he does keep it in defense position, but because I think the biggest reason why he didn't do anything, because honestly, the fact that they both have 1 spirit, attacking it, whether it's an attack or defense position, really doesn't matter in this sense, because Soylent only has 1 spirit, Humbust has 1 spirit underneath of it, and that's why. But he does set 3 cards for him, so that's also always going to be a scary situation right there, that anything can happen. The fact that he is setting 3 cards, and up until I was battling this guy, I was under the impression only counter ruins could be set, but I was told no, that is not right. Any spirit card, any ruin can be set, but yeah. So he ended this turn after that. He did destroy my Humbust. I end up drawing a card, and then quite clearly, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Excuse the mess. I definitely need to get a green screen when I'm doing these battles, but we're not going to get us neither here nor there. I am then going to grab, if I, get the spirits I'm looking for, which are the bottom 2 spirits, of course, and that is going to be, I'm going to play Earthquake, taking out his Sorlet. So So far, right now, in my opinion, the battle is like slightly advantage to me because of all the stuff that I played at the beginning. Like it was a very heavy shot at the beginning of this game, but we'll see as this goes on. Then I then play Necruff in attack, but I'm not done yet as I will play Drops of Leaf. And as we all know, Drops of Leaf makes you put all your as many cards as you want out of a hand back into your deck. You shuffle your deck, and then you draw the same amount of cards plus one. Now I'm doing this recording after I got the mobile app version, and I'm gonna put a little story here for a second. The fact that I was playing somebody on there, and I played Drops of Leaf. I put my cards in. I had a Trifono on my hand. I shuffled the deck on the app. I shuffled it twice just to make sure, and I drew Trifono again the very next turn. Like, what is that? What kind of luck is that when it comes to shuffling? So I draw my 3 cards, and I do what I can do because this game is very, very touch and go for sure. I do end up playing Ambrosia, allowing me to get 3 more spirits back in my deck, which always a must. Honestly, like Ambrosia and Drops of Leaf are definitely 2 cards that, and Nectar of the Gods are 3 cards you definitely want to have for your for playing. I think you should have at least one of each of those in your deck. Now, obviously, if you have anti-attack taking out one of his spirits, if I would have had and if there would have been an Elestral on the field and I destroyed it, he would have to lose he would have to lose a spirit regardless, which, yeah, there's that. So, I cost him 1 spirit, and I end my turn. Now, on his turn, as you can see here, nice little Zaptor off there, little Zaptor business. He will play Drops of Leaf himself, which, as we all know, as we just saw me do, he has to do the same exact thing. He draws his 3 cards. He cuts his deck, which I'm more than likely to shuffle, maybe draw Devi him out, but he'll draw his cards. And then this is something that like this particular opponent needs to learn to do and could really hurt him if he goes to do a tournament or something, is the fact that his camera is angled to where I can see his cards at this time. And like when he's looking at these ones down here, he is checking them and flashing to the camera. Now, if you're of course playing a card game, you should always make sure you see and not what your opponent sees. So I could see everything here. I've told him about that before, so I don't know why he still hasn't adjusted himself for that. But he will end up, as he's looking here, he will play Tsunami, which unfortunately puts my Necruff in the defense position. So, yeah, all that for nothing. I've only really gotten to, I've never gotten Trifono on the field yet in any way, shape, or form. It is kind of unfortunate. It's very hard to, like, get Trifono up there because, like, Blazerus's ability it's, like, very difficult to get Blazerus on the field because you can't, I don't think you can special ascend. You can only ascend from one to the other. So, in order to do Trifono right, you have to have Blazers on the field, attack and destroy 2 Elestrals, and then you can do that. And I just don't see no visible possible way for that to happen. But he plays Carry On in attack position. He wound up setting 1 card. He destroys my Necruff because he did put it in defense position with the Tsunami. After he checks his Orbital, which the middle one of the cards is the Orbital card because he flashed it to the screen. And then he took out Necruff and ended his turn. Now, I am going out of my way as I draw a card. My next move is going to be playing Jolton. Now, Jolton's ability, as we know, is to Jolton's ability is to allow you to check for a Stadium Ruin, as you which is why it's the only actual reason it's in my deck. There's no any other reason that you should have a Jolton in your deck. You're not going to be winning any battles, but he does go out of his way to hit me with a poison tipped arrow to put Jolton's attack to 2, which Carry-On's a bit, because I was going for Mount Olympus, obviously, and if he wouldn't use poison tipped arrow, I would have been able to play Mount Olympus and destroy his Carry-On, but unfortunately he uses poison tipped arrow, and as I end my turn, he is able to then expend a Water Spirit, destroying my Jolton, and yeah, that means I am now defenseless. So he is able to play Solit, and that allows him to be able to go out of his way to attack me for 2 spirits, and that was his. Now, as you can see, this was a viewer who is also in one of my battles as well. I forgot to change. I hit the camera wrong, so we showed up, but I played Cinder on my next turn, unfortunately, which allows me to get rid of 3 spirits from his deck. Oh, I'm sorry, 2. Shoot, Cinder, if I'm correct, I gotta recollect this. Cinder would allow me to if I can find the thing again. Cinder, who does not show up on my thing. Oh yeah, top 3 cards from their deck to the Underworld. So I like the combination of Jolt of Eruption and Cinder. It just really screws them because they lose 3 spirits and they lose 3 off the top of their deck. So I was able to do that, and that's all I was able to do. Unfortunately, this is where it really gets tough for me because he then goes out of his way because he went from a Centaur deck. He got himself built up a Pantera deck, which does not help me one bit because he's able to go here. He's able to ascend to Twindra, which, yeah, this is pretty much game right here. He plays Twindra. He takes out my Cinder with 1. He then attacks with his Twindra, talking off 2 spirits. I am definitely losing spirits at this time. And then I draw. I wish. Now here's what I wish is I wish that Nexus, like the Nexus mechanic, still boggles my mind. How like the A drive up until like the beginning of this entire the beginning of this entire, like, him showing us how to play and everything, he touted the Nexus mechanic as being this broken system, this broken way to do stuff. But in my battles that I've had, Nexus has almost played no factor. Because you can't Nexus from your spirit deck. They have to be spirits on the field. So, if I'm behind, for whatever reason, or if I don't have the ability to, like, say, if I could have had a Volcanic Forge to put it on the field and then put Cinder, but put Kinleo on the field, I would have been able to destroy the Twindra. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. Nexus is one of those things that it's like it's very difficult for me to justify even saying Nexus is a good mechanic because honestly, right now it is not. Especially since you can siphon from one Elestral to another, so that doesn't make any sense why Nexus would even be a thing. But that's all I could do. He ascends, and then basically he ascends Twindra into Pantera. He got his Pantera up, and yeah, this game is pretty much over from here. He hits the Pantera. He takes out my Kinleo with Carry-On. He attacks for 3 spirits, and basically that's all of his turn. I play Viserys in defense position. There's not much else I could really do at this time. So he cast 1 more Hydrake, which he didn't have to do because I only had like 2 spirits at the time. He takes out the Viserys. He attacks, bleeding me dry, winning the game, winning the rubber match, and that was the end of this battle right here. There was nothing I could do. He won, and there's not much else I can say. But yeah, that is this battle right here. I hope you guys can hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. I'll be back for more Elestrals battles as the weeks and months come on. Hopefully, we can get some Shattered Stars in here and some other pack openings and everything as the year go on. But until then, my name is Frontz. You guys have a good one, and I will see you later.